Hi everyone, I'm Bree.
And I'm Jeanne.
And today we're doing parachutes. And today we are doing no screen time, steam time, and we will be exploring engineering.
Which is, say it with us,
The E in STEAM.
We will also discover how to design a successful parachute.
And experience how air resistance works with parachutes.
Okay, and today we are making parachutes, and the supplies you will need are a scissors, tape, string or yarn, Legos, any shape. If you have the little Lego men, they'll work really cute with this. A ruler, measuring tape, stopwatch if you have it, or you can always use someone's phone. They usually have a stopwatch on them, and various types of paper.
Yes, as you can see, we have a ton of different ones here.
Yes.
Don't forget to be on the lookout for the following STEAM vocabulary, which are
air resistance,
which are the forces that are in opposition to the relative motion of an object as it passes through air.
constant,
Values that do not change either during or between experiments.
and area.
Area, that is extent or measurement of a surface or piece of land. And we are going to be using this fun little equation today to find the area of our parachutes.
Okay.
All right, and then for today, during our activity, we're going to learn the importance of designing a parachute, the size, the material, the shape. Those are all, weight, are all going to be really important because someone's life depends on their parachute working if they're jumping out of a plane. So parachutes are used to allow people to safely jump from an aircraft. And how do they work? So they work through air resistance or resistance of air. The larger the object, the greater the air resistance, because as they fall and they open up, the air pushes against it, which kind of creates this drag force, which allows them to slow down as they're falling.
Okay, sounds like fun. Should we make one?
Yes, let's do it. Okay, so before we start on our actual building of our parachute, we're gonna go into the math behind the parachute because engineering does require some math at least. So once you do your half circle, and we'll get into that in a minute, you're gonna open it up, you're gonna cut it out, and we're gonna find the diameter and the radius because we are going to be using this equation. So area equals pi, which is gonna be 3.14, times the radius squared, okay?
And the reason area is important when building our parachutes is because when you have a larger area, it is going to create more resistance, and you want more air resistance so that the parachute will drop slower. Okay? Other things will, tie into that. Your weight, how much your weight is, that can change the speed at which it drops. What else?
Well, if you're outside, the wind and
wind,
things, which is usually what will come in, will happen when they're dropping from an aircraft, is wind and all that stuff will play a big part. So to find that, you're gonna just go ahead and find the middle of your circle, draw a line across, and then find the middle of that line. So this is where your ruler will come in. So this is 8 inches across. I put a dot at 4 inches and then draw a line at an angle right here. So this right here, this line right here is my radius. So that's what I'm gonna measure. And that comes to 5 inches. So our radius is 5 inches. And we're gonna square that. So 5 times 5 is going to be 25.
Yes.
Now this is where a calculator comes in handy. So this is optional, but I'm going to use it. We're gonna go ahead and do 3.14.
I don't think they came up.
Oops.
Right.
Thank you. 3.14. There we go. Times 25, or multiplied by 25. So we got 78.5. That is the area of our parachute. So now we can actually get into the activity.
Okay.
So first thing, you're gonna choose a bunch of different materials. As you can see, we have newspaper, we have a napkin, we have tissue paper, you can do construction paper.
Fabric, anything you can find in your house It's worth a try. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
See what material is going to work better, and this is where you can experiment. Now, if you are going to do different materials, like we did, I recommend having a constant variable, which is going to be, I chose to do size. So even though I did a bunch of different materials, I decided to keep the same size circle for all of my different materials.
Okay.
And then that way I know whether it's the material that's working or that made it better, not material and size. Okay?
All right.
So once you have your half circle, you're just going to draw it on all your different kinds of papers. We're just going to do newspaper for today.
So when we get into attaching the weights, that would make a difference too, right? So if you keep that as a constant, you can, and then it'll determine which paper falls faster or works better. Yeah.
Yeah, which material worked better. So you're just going to cut out your half circle. And something I forgot to mention, make sure whatever you're using is folded in half, so that way you get a perfect symmetrical circle at the end. Okay, so we have ours.
Circle.
And like you said, we can do different materials. I also did tissue paper.
Yes.
I did some smaller ones where I did a napkin. So just whatever you guys have at home. Now we're going to go ahead and attach our strings, which we've already pre-cut. We used 4 because I felt like that was enough for how big our parachute is. But if you decide to use more, you guys, or if you have a bigger one, you might want to use more string.
Okay.
All right.
We also have different lengths of string. Which would you like to use today on this one?
Let's go for the longer one.
Longer one?
Yes.
All right. So here we go.
So we have our tape.
Go ahead. Kind of evenly space them around the circle.
Yes.
Got that part of it done.
Perfect. So now you're going to gather your string. And we're going to go ahead and tie them together. So I like to just grab 2 of each side and then just tie them in a small little knot. Just like that. Make sure it's pretty snug. And now we're going to use our Lego piece. So you guys can use Lego pieces. Jeanne made a good point about the little Lego figurines. That would be super fun.
So cute.
Washers or maybe bolts, things like that. Something small that you can wrap into your string. So I like to just set it on top of my knot like that and then just kind of twist it a little bit.
And then you want some tape?
Yep, and we're just going to put some tape around it.
Which way is best?
I like to just wrap it around the string.
This way?
Like up here around the string.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, to keep the string from unwinding. That's what we wanted to do. Perfect.
Yep, and then that'll hold it nice and snug in there.
Okay.
You want to make sure it's kind of pretty balanced in there as well. You don't want like one end hanging out more than the other.
Right.
Because that might make your parachute fly a little funky. All right, and there you go. And then some parachutes I read actually have a little hole at the top to help with the airflow. You can do that if you want. You can just cut a little hole. We didn't, but you can definitely try it and see if maybe that makes a difference or not in your parachutes as well.
Okay, so we've got that one set. We've also got some smaller ones to experiment with.
Try out different sizes. Remember, the bigger it is, the more air resistance, so the slower it's gonna fall. And then just try out the different materials. And now we get to fly them and see how well they work. Okay, so we have our parachutes. We have different sizes, materials. We have some with Legos, some with not. And we're gonna go ahead and measure where Jeanne is dropping from so that we have a constant variable, which is gonna be the height that we drop all our parachutes from. So go ahead and raise up, Jeanne, and I'm just gonna go ahead and use this measuring tape to kind of figure out where we're dropping from. So I'm just gonna kind of hold it right there. So we are measuring to about 88 inches. So we're gonna make sure that all of them are at 88 inches when we drop them.
Okay.
So there we go.
And I'm
right.
going to try and hit our target there. As you see on the ground, it's a little windy today, so
Right here.
there are no guarantees.
Yes, but that's how it is when you actually drop from a parachute, so that's good. All right, so I got my little stopwatch so that way we can time to see how fast or slow they're dropping as well to see a difference.
Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Yes. So 3,
3, 2,
1.
1.
All right.
What do we got?
1 second. 1.55. That's what we have for this.
Okay,
first
and that
one.
was a small parachute.
Yes. How about we try our tissue paper for next?
Okay.
It's bigger.
Right. Bigger area should be more air resistance.
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so a little bit lower. There we go. Beautiful. All right. So again, ready?
3, 2, 1.
Oh. Well, that took 4 seconds. So actually that took a lot longer to
Yes.
fall. So
did.
go ahead and leave that one.
Oh, here.
We'll leave it. We'll leave it.
Oh, that's all right. All right, so we've got another one to try.
Let's go ahead and try this one.
Okay. So this is the newspaper, about the same size, I think, as the tissue one?
Yep, same size as the
Okay.
tissue one.
All right.
All right, I'm really surprised that that tissue one held up as well as it did.
Oh.
All right, a little bit lower. Okay, looks good. Oh, okay. All right, 3,
2,
1.
1. Ooh.
Okay, that took 3.7.
Oh, wow.
So tissue paper still actually,
Is the best.
yes.
Okay, so here we have a small one with no weight on it, so it'll be interesting to see
If it
what
just flies away.
happens with this one.
Okay, looks
All right.
good. All right, 3,
2,
1.
1. Ooh.
2.56.
Okay.
So the tissue paper was the one that actually won. The bigger, and it was tissue paper. So yeah, I'm actually really surprised. So you guys try it and see how it goes at home, and try out different materials, different sizes, different areas.
Right, you can let us know what you find out by sharing it with us. You can tag us on Facebook, and we'd like to see what you find out.
All right, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.